Morning of day 161, my last Wednesday on trail, and not quite as bitter as I was yesterday, so I'll let that go. Although I am still thinking about events that happened yesterday. What I'm thinking about at the moment is how on the bus in the morning, after I'd hiked up to the High Bridge Ranger Station, on the bus back down to Stahican, there were a couple of day hikers there, and one of them asked me if the trail had been tougher than I thought it was going to be, and when I answered no, it hasn't been as tough as I thought it would be. I could feel a lot of stares from the other hikers on the bus. I guess toughness has been a sort of a topic which has been on my mind a lot lately. I was listening to a short sort of podcast mini-series a little while ago by Henry Rollins, who is someone I admire quite greatly after listening to many podcasts of him with Joe Rogan. You'll have to excuse me, quick sidetrack here, I was looking for a downhill section to film this so I wouldn't be panting and puffing the whole way. However, when I looked at the elevation map for today, there is no downhill. It's uphill all day. So this is actually the more gradual of the uphills. It just gets steeper and steeper throughout the day. Anyway, yeah, that was a podcast Henry Rollins did called Tough Conversations, where he was in Australia actually, and he was trying to look at the Australian stereotype, or the stereotype of Australian men being large, tough men, and I guess that's something I can resonate with, not the large or the toughness, but seeing Australian men as that way. I've definitely never felt it myself. People out here that I've had conversations like this with them, they've often been surprised when I've said, hey, if you had to sort of put Australian men on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of toughness, just big, strong, manly, tough men, I would have said I'm at the lower end of that scale. Sure, I'm tall, but I've never considered myself tough or strong, anything like that. I'm not sure where that stems from. Perhaps as a child, given I was always breaking bones, always injured playing sport, always allergic to something or having skin reactions to something, I guess people always, a lot of my friends often told me I needed to toughen up or something because I was always injured, always breaking things, and maybe that stuck with me. But makes me think that almost nothing I've done in life has ever been as tough as I thought it was going to be. I guess I've spent a lot of time trying to test just how tough I can be. I remember my first motorbike crash. I remember sliding along the ground thinking, well, this isn't so bad. I remember when I was kickboxing, and been doing Muay Thai or Thai boxing, whatever you want to call it, and I've been training at this gym for a long time, and training with the fighters, sparring with the fighters, and eventually it was like, hey, I wonder if I can do it. I mean, I'll never know unless I try. And I remember, so I had a fight, and at the weigh-in the night before the fight, the guy I was fighting against, because it was both my first fight and his, it was supposed to be a padded fight, and that had been the case for the whole preparation. So I'd never spent any time conditioning my shins because I didn't need to. There would be pads on them. However, at the weigh-in, the opponent decided that they didn't want to fight with pads anymore. They wanted to go with no pads and smaller gloves. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Some of the guys I trained with sort of said it was crazy. Again, I wasn't tough enough. I needed tough. And before, even in the lead up, people were telling me I wasn't tough enough. I was always complaining, always making excuses. But yeah, did that fight, won that fight. I mean, adrenaline gets you through the fight because you can't feel a thing. And yeah, my legs were swollen for weeks afterwards, but got through it, and it wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be. parts of it were tougher, but overall you get out and just kind of want to do it again. You know, when I moved overseas for a while. When I came back to Australia, I moved into the construction industry, and I thought it's gonna be tough. Real men work in construction, big strong guys. I'm gonna have to work really hard to try and keep up with these guys. I'm gonna have to really try and be tough to keep up with it. I was fine. I was nothing overly tough about it at all. And then when I got the opportunity to work in mining construction, fly in, fly out, oil and gas and mining construction, in those industries, you know, I thought, oh, this is going to be tough. You know, remote area work in Australia, even out in the outback as well. Again, tough guys, big guys, strong guys work in mines. And again, I got out there and it's just regular people. So I wish with this trail, no one but myself actually ever doubted me. I think when I told people I was going to do it, everyone just went, yeah, that sounds like something you'd do. And I really actually wished that someone had turned around and said, sort of questioned whether I'd be able to. People said, do you think you'll be able to? But no one ever said, I don't think you can, or I don't think you will, or no one ever expressed any real concern that I wouldn't be able to do it. It would have been nice if someone had, because it would have been good for the few low points I have had to sort of go, no, screw this person, I'm doing it. I haven't had that. Everyone just assumed I could do it. So I think I was the only one doubting whether I could. And for me, it wasn't a physical thing, it was just a mental thing, because when you've got, I just didn't know how long my brain would stay keen if I was injured in any way. It turns out I'm fine, and it turns out the trail really isn't that hard. It's just walking, right? That's really all it is. It's frustrating at times, you know. It's been hard for the last week knowing I'm so close to finishing, but still knowing I've got to hike for longer than most people have ever hiked in their life. You know, you've still got 7 or 8 days to go, and you're like, oh, you're so close, but still so far away. And even now, I've got 3 days to go. But still, it's not easy to, I mean, it is. In the end, it is easy to get out of bed and hike in the morning because you want to get there and you've got nothing else to do. But, yeah, those things are tough, but overall the trail hasn't been as tough as I thought it would be. Not by a long shot. I mean, I'm not challenging the weather to try and make my last 3 days grueling, but hey, a bit of adventure wouldn't kill me, probably. I guess all I'm thinking is, when people think things are tough, a lot of people think things are going to be tough and they let that stop them doing something. And in the end, I can't think of anything in my life that's actually been tougher. Or, I mean, there's been things that have been tougher than I expected, but that's only because I expected them to be easy. There's been nothing in my life that I can think of, and I've spent quite a while over the last week or so thinking about this, trying to think of anything that I thought was going to be really tough, and where it was actually as tough or tougher than I expected it to be, including this trail. And on one more slightly bitter note from yesterday, apparently this trail is the only thing that you can do most of and claim you've done all of. I've really been trying to think of anything else in life that you can just do as much of as you feel like, any activity, anything at all, where you can do as much as you feel like doing and still claim you've done the whole thing. And I can't think of a single thing except for this trail. So that's my little gripe. Sorry, I forgot a few things. Happens. The reason I brought up that podcast was the Toughness one, was not just trying to emphasize saying that men should be super tough. It was actually trying to break down that stereotype. And he was having discussions with some semi-celebrities and other people who are considered tough Australians to try and break down that barrier, get men talking about emotions and feelings and all that kind of stuff, and prove that being tough is not just bottling everything up on the inside, pushing it all the way down and getting on with it. So that was the point of that podcast, and I agree with that. And again, I guess that's another reason why I've never considered myself very tough is if you knew how often I tear up watching movies or TV shows or reading books, even I'm embarrassed by it. So something else which I guess isn't really considered tough, but it is what it is. It's just, I guess it's just the way I'm wired. But yeah, I mean, I think people should talk about toughness. I think a lot of people should suck it up and toughen up, but to some extent, that's not always the right thing to do. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than, yeah, if you're scared of something because it's tough, just do it. It'll be fine. And if you're going through something tough, I guess a friend of mine from high school opened up on Facebook a while ago. I saw the post probably a month or two ago now. I've been thinking about it, and he opened up about a suicide attempt of his own, and he's got a wife and kids, so it's a pretty big deal for him to sort of open up and talk about mental health and all that. Anyone who knows me knows that in recent years not myself, but I've been more involved in mental health issues than I would ever have liked to have been. And so I can see how important it is for people to talk, especially about mental health stuff. I can say it's personally no fun ringing an ambulance for someone you love when they've tried to take their own life. So yeah, there is a need to talk. There's times to be tough, I think, and I think a lot of people do need to harden the fuck up, but also people need to be able to discuss what they're feeling. It goes both ways. I'm just rambling, not really making any point here. There was supposed to be a point, but I've long ago lost that, so I'll just shut up for now. It's nice and smoky today. Look at those views. I'm sure on a clear day, these views would be much more spectacular. They're still impressive, but you just can't see anywhere near as much.